What's Louie, my killer? I'm back again with Art Club. We're gonna be painting pictures, art pieces with Art Club. Lock in.
And you're now entering the era of the beast.
I'm Era of the Beast, aka Ese. I'm 29 from Laurel, Maryland. Nigeria represent, you feel me? I lift heavy weights for fun. And I also like anime. Yeah, man, I do cool stuff. The name Era of the Beast came about because I was trying to figure out a name for my company. I wanted to start a lifting, training, coaching company. And I asked my little cousins what they thought it should be, and they said Beast Mode Fitness. I felt like a big thing in culture and stories is coming of age and coming into your own, and that being kind of the golden era, and thought of the name Beast Mode and wanting to kind of combine it. So Era of the Beast, it's almost as though it's our time, our era, that coming of the age story that's been told time and time again, you know, similar to the hero's journey, if you will. So that's how the name came about.
What was the idea behind the logo?
I paid some dude on Fiverr to make me something cool. It is a little beast, you know, jacked up, buffed up, and he has one eye, similar to Mike Wazowski. And he's red and black, and he's a cool guy. He's a chill guy, in fact. So yeah, that is the Era of the Beast logo.
How long was you started with the Beast?
It was just after COVID. It's gonna be 4 years now. I have partners that represent Era of the Beast. It's not just me, it's Christian and Granados. And then we have Ian Munns. Those two are my co-coaches / people on the team. Of course, we have a lot of people on the team per se, but those are the main people. And of course, my wife, Rebecca, capping kilos on Instagram, who also powerlifts. Mostly the faces of Era of the Beast.
How'd you get into reviewing tech?
I got into reviewing tech because I just thought it would be fun, you know, and I'm very interested in tech. I always try to kind of hear about what's going on. So a big thing for me was trying to, on my YouTube channel, just do different things and kind of like not just do only powerlifting content all the time, but allow myself to branch into different things. I was supposed to put up an anime video too on my YouTube, but then I just got lazy because that was a lot of editing, and I was like, I'm not doing all that editing. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because my first most popular video is a video of me ragging on the SBD knee sleeves because they are absolute trash. They're trying to be stiff knee sleeves, but they're the worst version of it. And it doesn't make sense because they're one of the biggest companies in powerlifting, so you would assume that they would do it well. They're like the Nike of powerlifting, and they just crap the bed with this. They literally actually cost more than the competitors' products. So you're spending more to get even less. It's a horrible product, don't buy it.
You don't really post the tech videos on your Instagram or TikTok, right?
No.
How come you don't post it?
One of the reasons I don't post them is because I don't think that necessarily the audience has the attention span. Like, you're on TikTok, you're not trying to watch some 5-minute video of some guy talking about something. You know, you're looking for 30-second content, mostly a minute. If it's a really interesting story, you'll stay for 8. If it's really interesting, but asking someone to stay there for a 5-minute review of one thing and really having that level of patience, I feel like too much to ask for TikTok.
When did powerlifting become your thing? When did it play a part in your life?
I just do random things sometimes, and I decided to listen to this podcast called Iron Radio. And Iron Radio was like a lifting podcast, and I think I was just trying to get into podcasts because I kept hearing people. This, mind you, this was a junior in college when I found out, when I was just listening to podcasts about lifting because I wanted to learn how to get better. And I figured you should probably listen to people who know what they're talking about. So I started listening to this podcast called Iron Radio. And in Iron Radio, there was a bodybuilder dude, but there was a guy who called himself a powerlifter. I had never heard about powerlifting, and he was talked about it, and it's not really cool because I was like, I can do string competitions, I'm decently okayly strong, right? And then he was like, yeah man, if you want to do a powerlifting competition, just hop in, man, there's no good time. I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And so then I decided to hop in. I had no idea what I was doing. I had to watch YouTube to learn the rule book. Needless to say, my first competition didn't go well. My first competition was my first year of professional school, pharmacy school. And I bombed out, which means in the powerlifting space, you don't get a good one because you get 3 tries at each lift. And with the first lift, the squad just didn't get a good lift. And so I was disqualified from the rest of the meet, still finished the meet. But that lit a fire in my belly. And also I was the weakest person there. Literally someone's grandpa was the only person weaker than me, which is insane because I'm not that weak. Even at the time, I think I could bench 250, 270, 250, 275. Granted now in comparison, that is extremely weak to me, but
how many powerlifting tournaments have you been in?
Maybe about 7 or 8. it is hard because after a powerlifting meet, you feel like you got hit by a train. So ideally, I don't want to get hit by a train multiple times a year. So I try to limit it to about 1, maybe 2 times a year.
What is like the prize? What do you usually win?
It depends how deep in the game you are. I was at nationals, so I think each, like the first place winners won like $2,000 or something like that, $2,000-$3,000, like not that much money, but more. At a local meet, you'll be lucky to come out with $300 if you're your best lifter of the day. It just depends. Like they have meets, like if you're at the highest level, which is the highest level that you can compete in powerlifting, is called the Sheffield. In Sheffield, you literally get money just for breaking records. You don't even have to win. But I think you break like a record, every time you break a record, you get paid like $4 or $5 grand. That might be overestimating. Maybe let's say $2,500. You get $2,500 just for breaking a record. You win the shebang, you get like $5-7 grand, right? But every time you break a record, you make money.
Can you describe your workflow in terms of like how you go about thinking up your ideas, recording the video, editing, and posting?
The ideas come from either one or two things. We're thinking about like, you know, what would people find interesting? What would people find useful to know about either? Because it's not just about powerlifting, right? We're in the fitness space, and like, you know, there's a lot of misinformation, I would say, in the fitness space. So one of the things we want to look at is what can we do to like help like a regular person who's just trying to get into lifting. So we want to do things that are informative, but also we don't want to only do informative things. We want to do things that are fun, because at the end of the day, we have to make the videos. And so we would want to make content that we enjoy watching back ourselves. So generally speaking, we have, it's the highest budget, low budget setup you'll see. I got a Sony. We got a Sony. We have some Rode mics, and that's the setup. And you know what I'm saying? We got a tripod, and we just kind of try to keep the sound mostly isolated when we shoot. You know, we're in the gym, so most of the time that doesn't happen. Sometimes we'll have scripts, sometimes we'll have ideas thought about, but a lot of times we're kind of just going off the dome. Well, that's not true. For the education content, we mostly have to have a script because we have to decide what we're going to talk about. So if we're thinking like, hey, maybe we're having a conversation about supplements, and we'll be like, hey, you know, it'd be cool if we talked about creatine, because a lot of people think like creatine is steroids, and it's like not. It's just a natural supplement in your body that can slightly help your lifts. Like you're not going to be like Brock Lesnar out there, but you know, it can help you, give you a competitive edge if you're someone who wants to get a bit stronger.
And what do you find time to edit? What program do you use to edit?
I use Final Cut Pro because me and my team, it was easier to... Adobe is a scam. Because if you have a team, to get your whole team on Adobe is such a pain in the butt. You can literally save money just like paying for Final Cut Pro, like over the course of whatever. It's just, you buy it once and you buy it for life, right? But I still use Photoshop. I'm trying to move over to Pixelmator, but Adobe is a scam. When you used to be able to buy it, I think it was fine, but with it becoming like cloud-based and they're like doing the subscription, I think it's becoming too much. But I personally just use only like Final Cut Pro now.
Do you have certain days you post, or it's just whenever you finish the video?
So I like to keep it kind of staggered. I post on Instagram on Friday, I post on TikTok on Saturday, and I post on YouTube on Sunday. Is there a particular reason for that? Absolutely not. I don't know why I started doing it. I should probably just make them all Friday. It'd probably make my life easier, but it's what it is now.
So that's a content creation and everything. If you could collab with one person right now, who would it be?
If I could collaborate with one person right now, it would have to be Marquez. Just because Marquez is my favorite content creator. You know, watching his videos made me go, fuck, I want to make stuff like that. You know, like if you make stuff, you can't watch a Marquez Brownlee video and not go, fuck, that was cool, you know? Like from the intros to everything in the video, it's just so clean. Yeah, man, so I would really love to collaborate with his team. Yeah. I feel like people are so used to getting something for free that they don't care about supporting the people who make it. And that was the problem with the wallpaper app. It wasn't the fact that it was paid, it was the fact that people are used to getting something for free. So it doesn't matter about the fact that there are people who put their time into making something they don't want to pay for it.
What is your least favorite Pokemon?
My least favorite Pokemon? Mr. Mime. It creeps me out. I'm not gonna hold you.
What was your favorite Pokemon game growing up?
Emerald.
That's the one, the Game Boy Color, Advance?
Advance. I ain't had no Game Boy Color. When my mom bought me a Game Boy, it was when they had the Advance. The color. She was not going for that at that time. Well, technically my first Pokemon game was Sapphire, but Emerald was like a complete version where you could get both. And that's just where I have the most fondest memories of Pokemon. I feel like the new ones were okay. Diamond and Pearl were okay. I like the legends from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald the most. I think those legends are some of the better designs. I think the new ones from the Aloha region Pokemon designs go crazy. The Aloha region Pikachu, peak. He rides his own tail as a surfboard. That shit's crazy.
So between Naruto and Bleach, which one are you keeping?
Between Naruto and Bleach?
Yeah.
Naruto. Because Naruto, for me, Rock Lee is too iconic. Rock Lee was introduced as the underdog. It wasn't like, oh, maybe he is a loser. Like, for all intents and purposes, Rock Lee is a loser, just so we understand that. Rock Lee was not gifted at all. He was bad he could not do ninjutsu. He couldn't do genjutsu, and he was below average at taijutsu. He was a fucking loser. Rock Lee represents the idea that you can work hard and achieve something with yourself. No matter how untalented you are, no matter how much of a loser everyone thinks you are, that does not matter. As long as you truly care about what you're doing, you can achieve something. Gojo is a cool character. He's made to be cool. He's made to be the antithesis of Sukuna, just on the other side, right? Because he's all powerful, can't be stopped. He's just a force of nature. I like force of nature characters. I think they're interesting because they explore the idea of how do you deal with something that can't be dealt with, like a Joker. Like, you can't reason with Joker, right? You can't reason with Gojo. Like, Gojo's just gonna do what Gojo's gonna wanna do. And so then it creates this tension of how do you reason with nature? You don't. The answer is you don't. You just have to avoid it.
What do you prefer, Mac or Windows?
Mac over everything. People will try to convince you that Windows is superior because you can touch the screen. That is not true. That shit is ass. First of all, the battery on Windows die far too quickly. Second of all, I literally find Windows all the time randomly going like 100% on the fan. Like nobody's touching it. It's just asleep, right? Or it's on like lock, and it just be working itself and working the battery to death for no reason. Do you remember every like 2 years, for whatever reason, Windows computers, the internet connection would just stop working? It's not really a problem anymore, but that was another thing that stopped me from using Windows.
How do you feel in terms of your community? Do you feel like this is where you envision your content, your community to be right now? I
think that my content and my community can grow. I think that that's the point of everything that we do, is for grow and to change as people. Especially the YouTube community is crazy, bro. Sometimes you get really people who like, I love your content, do your thing, and then you get people who are like, you're a liar. I'm just like, brother, I have 259 subscribers on YouTube. What am I gonna lie about? I don't have 1 million subscribers I can lie to. So like, yeah, it's just different, you know. And then Instagram's a weird place too, because like I do get a solid amount of I get like 1,000 views at like on a reel or a post.
I'll read some comments and then you just tell me whatever comes to your mind. The SBDD sleeves literally add 10% to my squat match. Just pick a tight size and they feel very stiff.
I feel like that defeats the purpose of wearing them, is because people don't understand that the point is to get the size that mostly fits you, and then you having to like move down several sizes that's super tight takes away from the point of it, right? And it doesn't take away from the fact that it's not a good product. And on top of that, the 10% that you get from that knee sleeves would be 30% if you actually use actual stiff sleeves.
What does success mean to you?
Success means to me that you're able to meet a goal, right? So success in this context means to me that like people are able to find my reviews and my content helpful, that it makes their day and they're able to get something out of the things that I'm making. So I'm a success in already.
Have you ever thought about quitting?
Yeah, I think about that once a week. Like I genuinely do not like being on the internet. I like being a bystander on the internet, but making content is very difficult, especially because the more legitimate, like real people I see on the internet, the worse I realize that being on the internet is. I think when it gets to the point where people are trying to stalk you over it is where it gets scary. Because I don't mind people be like, hey, you're that guy. Like, yeah, I'm damn that guy. Like, let's chat, you know? Especially if I got time. I think that's a fun thing to build community. But I think when it gets to the point where people become obsessive, that's when it gets weird.
What would you tell your younger self that was started to make content?
Just keep going. Just keep going and, like, you know, just make things that you enjoy. Make more stuff that you enjoy, because that's going to help you. So I wanted to paint something that was like anime cartoon character. It was I don't know what you could. Oh, Kirby's from Japan. So I wanted to make something that was like a cartoon character to pay homage to that cartoon video gaming because I love that. You know, Era of the Beast has a lot of video gaming, like kind of like font and kind of theme. And I wanted to make it look like it was also a powerlifting competition and have a little trophy because I'm number 1. So yeah, that's how we got about here. Thanks, Art Club, for having me. It's been a fun time. It's been your boy, Era of the Beast here. We painted pictures with Art Club. You can find me on Instagram at Era of the Beast, that's with a 0, and on TikTok and YouTube at Era of the Beast. The other ones are spelled normally, and we are painting pictures with Art Club. We are so back.